Hi everyone, I'm Mark Bergen. I'm a digital producer at the NBC affiliate in Knoxville, Tennessee. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Google map and embed that into your story using the KOMU CMS. Hopefully you're enjoying Annie's class. She was a tremendous resource for me. She's part of the reason why I have the job that I have right now as well. But on why you would make a Google map, it's a great way to provide a location, give your viewer some context as to what's going on with your story. If there's a story with multiple locations as well, it's a great way to provide context there. And then it also provides great proximity to other well-known landmarks. And before we begin, you'll need to set up a Google Gmail account. I highly recommend this. You can use this as your professional email once you start your job search, but also you get 15 gigabytes of cloud storage as well. If your computer's getting a little bit older, mine actually bit the dust my senior year as well. It's a great way to back up all of your files, and it's free cloud storage. So you'll need to set up a Google account before we begin. I'm going to flip my screen over so you can follow along step by step. So from here, what you'll do is you'll pull up a browser. And I'm just using Safari for this. This would work on Safari, Chrome, Firefox. And so what you'll want to do is you'll go to you'll do a Google search of Google Spreadsheets, and you'll come to this window. And again, this is all once you've set up a Gmail account or a Google account, because you'll be using Google Drive quite a bit. And so you'll click this middle button, go to Google Sheets. And from there it'll open a new tab. Now normally you'd click this this button right here, this bottom right hand button, to create a new spreadsheet. It's in red and it's got a plus sign. That'll just give you a blank spreadsheet. It looks exactly like a Microsoft Excel document. For the purposes of this video, I've gone ahead and created the sheet that I'm going to show you guys. And my spreadsheet example is my 5 favorite restaurants in Columbia, Missouri, and it really saddened me that I was not able to include Shakespeare's in this video. But depending on when you're watching this video, I'm not sure where Shakespeare's will be at that point in time with its relocation and its reconstruction. So in this video, I've got 2 columns. You can see the name of the restaurant, and this will be the name that's displayed in your map on the marker of your map. And it also has the physical address of the location of each restaurant in Columbia. So I've got Flat Branch, Murray's, Ernie's, Teller's, and Heidelberg, with the corresponding address to each of those restaurants as well. It's really important that you put the proper address in, because this is where your geolocation marker is going to be placed on the map once we get there. So once we do that, you'll want to go ahead and name the spreadsheet at the top. Make it something that's easy, that relates to your story and that's very easily found, because this is the data that Google Maps is going to use to place each of the markers and put that geolocate each of the markers. So what you'll need to do is you'll click File, go to Publish to the Web. From there, I've already published this, so that's why the publish icon is toggled off, but go ahead and publish the entire document. Then from there, you'll just need to click out. You will not need to copy and paste anything. From there, what you'll need to do is, again, for our purposes for this very, very basic map, you can go ahead and click out of your spreadsheet. And from there, what you'll need to do is go to Google Maps Engine Lite. If you just Google search that, it'll be the second term that pops up. So google.com/mymaps is the link that you're looking for. So we'll go ahead and click that. And from here, you'll go ahead and click Create a New Map. And so from here, it'll give you a map of the United States. Pretty broad location. So the first thing you'll want to do before you start anything, before you embed your Google spreadsheet into the map, is go ahead and name your map. This will be displayed in the top left of your story, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But for this story, we'll go Mark Bergen's favorite restaurants in Columbia, Mo. And the description will be Mark Bergen's top 5 favorite restaurants in Columbia, Missouri in his time at MU. So the description can be a little bit more detailed. It's pretty basic at this point in time. So go ahead and save that once you put a map title and description in. And again, that's really important because that's what's going to be displayed. I'll go ahead and show you that a little bit later though. So from there, you'll want to go to import under this untitled layer column on the left side of your screen. Go ahead and click import. And from there, if you had like a spreadsheet that you wanted to use, like a Microsoft spreadsheet, you could. But if you go ahead and go to Google Drive, and if you notice, the very first thing that pops up is Mark's favorite restaurants because I just made that spreadsheet. So go ahead and select the spreadsheet of what you're trying to display with your map. And Google will take a second. It will request access to your Google Drive. And another thing is if you have pop-ups disabled, this might take a while. So again, enable pop-ups, and it looks like something I might have to do right now. So I'm going to pause the video really quickly to go ahead and enable pop-ups so the Google Drive can access my spreadsheet so it can plot the points on the map that I need to. Okay, sorry about that. So now that I've disabled the pop-ups on my browser, and I went in and pulled up the spreadsheet that it asked, I imported that into the layer. What I need to do is this screen will now pop up and it says choose columns to position your place markers. So what I'll need to do from here is so it's asking you where you want to place each of the markers. So in this case, you want to choose the address column. And again, this is why it's really important to put the specific address of what you're trying to display on your map. So you'll click address, the check mark next to it, and you'll click continue. And then the second one is choose a column to title your markers. So this is the restaurant or the name of the restaurant in this circumstance. And sometimes you might have different locations. You might have different information that goes at that location beyond just the address. For this circumstance, you don't. So you'll just choose the restaurant for the restaurant name. From there, you'll click finish. And so this will take a second to load. But right now it's placing the geolocation of the 5 restaurants that I listed. So as you can see, there are 4 in downtown Columbia. You have Flat Branch, Ernie's, Teller's, and the Heidelberg. Murray's, which is off Providence, is right there. So this is really nice. And as you can see, the name of the layer is the same name as what you entitled your spreadsheet. So again, this is why it's really important to name and label everything because that's the name of your layer. You can go ahead and change that in your map if you have a typo or if you want to change it up. But this is really nice. You can see here the location of the different restaurants. You can zoom in and out here using the bottom right, the plus and the minus sign to zoom in and out. But it's great because you can kind of see where everything is. If I zoom in and kind of look at the restaurants near in downtown Columbia, you can kind of see where that is in relation, to the Quad and in relation to Broadway and on 9th Street. It's just a really nice way to see where everything is, and it's a great way to explain where everything is. And if you click each of the locations, it'll not only give you the address, it'll also say the name of the restaurant. It'll also have the exact coordinates. You can go ahead and now let's say some event happens and it's at Flat Branch, but let's say it's in the parking lot of Flat Branch. You can literally pick up and drag that location and it'll automatically save to your map as well. In this circumstance, we're just going to keep it right on Flat Branch. And it's really nice just to kind of see where everything is from there. So from here, a couple of other things. If you wanted to style each of these markers a little bit differently, I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out so you can see where Murray's is in relation to everything. It's really nice, so you can style each of the restaurants. Now let's say you had a category where there were different styles of restaurants, so where where, let's say, Ernie's and Tellers are a little bit, or excuse me, Murray's and Tellers are more fine dining, along with Flat Branch, whereas, Ernie's is a breakfast place, and you wanted to give them each of the markers different colors. You can do that, which is a really nice feature of Google Maps Engine Lite as well. So you can, right now these are just styled individually. You can do it by a certain column of data. I have not done that. I only provided 2 columns of data. I provided the restaurant and the address, but you can also sequence it by colors. You can all have them all of a uniform style, which we have in this circumstance. But if you wanted to, or you can give them each of their own individual styles if that warrants it. This is a really nice thing to where, let's say there are different categories or there are different ranges. If you're trying to, measure different locations by some form of data or some form of numbers, you can give them different colors to differentiate different things, and you'll want to include that in any description. If you do decide to color each of your markers differently, you want to explain that to a viewer, to explain to him or her clearly what you're conveying. And so from here, you can go ahead and keep this layer. I'm pretty happy with this, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it at this view. I like where it is and everything. So what to do from here? You'll go ahead and you'll see these 3 buttons. From here, you might get a little bit confused. If you want to embed on my site, you're not able to do that right off the bat. So what you'll need to do before you can go ahead and embed this on my site, you have to click this share button here in the left-hand corner. And from there, it'll give you a second. You need to change the access. So people, right now this is a private map. The only person who can see this is you. So you'll need to change that. So when you go to change, you want to click on. So anyone on the website will be able, or anyone on the internet will be able to find this. Just go ahead and do this because they need to be able to see your map, and so you can embed it into your story on the KOMU CMS. So once you do that, right now it's saving. It'll give you a link as well, which is nice. Which you can link to if a mobile viewer isn't able to see your map using his or her mobile device or on let's say a tablet of some sort. It'll give you a nice URL link to use, which is nice. Hang on to that, but go ahead and click done once you're done with that. So once you publish it, now you'll go to this button. It's the 3 circle buttons, and then from there you want to go to embed on my site, and from there it'll give you an embed code. Now, word of warning, the 640 width, it's a little long for KOMU CMS. Maybe mess with it a little bit, maybe 600, 625. We'll go ahead and do 625 for the purposes of this story, but you're not able to edit that within this framework right now. First, you'll need to copy and paste this embed code, and then from here you'll copy and paste this embed code into the KOMU CMS. So again, how I did that, go back, just to backtrack for you really quickly. Once you publish this online, and again, to do that, you'll go to share. Right under who can access it, you need to make sure that your map is public on the web. Once you've done that, which we've already done, public on the web. One other quick thing I do want to point out as well, once you do publicize your map on the web, make sure this bottom icon is checked under can view, not can edit. If the viewer can view your map and can edit it, anyone can go in and change the information on your map, and it'll be very misleading to your viewers. So that's one other quick thing. Make sure that you've checked the can view option. From there, click save. From there, click done. Once your map is published, you'll click this button, the top button, and you'll go to embed on my site. Go ahead and copy and paste this code, either Command C or Control C, depending on if you're using a Mac or a Windows. From there, you'll click OK once you have your embed code. And from there, you'll go to KOMU CMS. So I still have my login from when I was in school, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in right now. And you go to News, like always, just like if you were typing any other web story, and you'll go to New News. And so from here, you'll need to check all your categories. So make sure you check KOMU, the byline. Go ahead and give yourself credit. Put in a title as well. For the circumstance, I'm not going to do that. Click news, default categories news. So from here, what you'll do is when you go to this content page, a really nice option is to click this blue full screen. It'll make the text full screen. You can also click out of that. It's this blue button here on the right hand side. I think it's just easier to read rather than having to scroll with a very small window. From there, you'll click this HTML button, which is in your toolbar as well, edit HTML source. So you'll go ahead and click that. One other quick thing with KOMU's CMS is you'll need to put in a few lines of copy before you go ahead and embed your paragraph. The reason for that, for any KOMU story, and I'll go ahead and go to KOMU's website, and whatever we find first, we'll go ahead and pull up here. But let's see, this Missouri ACT story will pull up. And you can see here on the left-hand side that the thumbnail image is right here on the left. And you see how the paragraphs are indented over here. You know, your map's going to be very, very compressed in a very, very small area unless you have about 3 paragraphs before you embed your map. So that's just something to keep in mind before you go to the HTML. So you'll have, you know, your date line, so Columbia, you know, your lead sentence, you know, your second lead, and then, you know, like a quote, and then from there maybe you'll explain, you know, the map below shows Mark Bergen's favorite restaurants. I'm sorry, my email's popping up. Excuse me. The map below shows Mark Bergen's favorite restaurants in Columbia. And go ahead and hyperlink this as well, just in case, again, if a viewer, in which I'll show you here in a second. So once you put all that information in, again, go back to this HTML button on your toolbar. And from there, what you'll do is that code you copied and pasted. So again, you go back, you want to grab your code, embed on my site, copy and paste that. This is where you'll want to copy and paste it. And so you'll copy and paste the code right there. Again, change the width to about 625. Again, you can go back and tinker with this if you need to, but go ahead and put that in from there. So now that you've put your code in, and if it's not popping up on the bottom, go ahead and this minimize button. If it's not popping up right here, all you have to do is click this button, second on the top right, and click update, and it'll take a second, and you can actually physically see the map in your story. And go ahead and hyperlink. So what you want to do is go back to your map as well. Hang on just a second. So what you'll want to do from here is when you click the share button, go ahead and take this link that Google provides you, copy and paste that, and then the map below shows Mark Bergen's favorite restaurants in Columbia. Go ahead and hyperlink that as you would if you were hyperlinking to another website to get more information, or to a PDF, as you would in any other article. So you want to click insert/edit link, and from there at the top you'll copy and paste your URL. Another important thing, under target you'll want to say open in new window. So if the viewer clicks this link, they still stay on your story. That's very, very important. So go ahead and click insert as well, and so it'll now hyperlink to the map as well. It'll take you away from the article, but yeah, and so you can see the map is in your story. I'm going to go ahead and pull up an example of what a map will look like in a story for you. It won't be this exact one, just because I don't want to go ahead and publish this on KOMU's website while you're trying to break news right now. So I'll go ahead and pull up a map on another website just to kind of show you how it's displayed once everything is published as well. So once you're done with this, click this blue button. So you have to save this before you can publish it. So you'll click save, publish as you would with any other KOMU video. Again, I'm not going to publish this page. I don't want this page to go active accidentally. But this is something that'll look like. Now, this is a story I did about car accidents near North Callaway High School in Kingdom City. I did the story about a year ago, and as you can see, this is on KOMU's site. So this was the thumbnail. This is a lot of the text explanation. I provided a map of what specifically they were going to do. And I provided another map showing all of the car accidents that happened near North Callaway High School. Thankfully, there were no fatalities, but there were quite a bit of accidents. And so you can see, and you can zoom in on each of the markers. I labeled them as cars in this story because they involved car accidents. But I went ahead and labeled the date and then the explanation of each of the car crashes. And like I said, it's just a great way to see, in relation, where exactly it is, where it is in relation to the high school and everything. So this was just one example. Plenty of other examples that I'd be able to show you if you'd want me to. I'm going to go ahead and change this back to the video on me to wrap up and to provide you my contact information if you have any follow-up questions that are needed. But hopefully that video was helpful to all of you. Again, hopefully it gives you some perspective of where everything is. Again, I mean, if you think about it, let's say something happens in Jefferson City where there's some type of accident, and I'm not from Jefferson City. I'm aware of where the Capitol is, though. Where did that? Let's say it happens on Main Street. Where is Main Street in relation to the Capitol building? Where is this in relation to Jesse Hall? People want to know that, and so when you just label that on a web story, people want to know specifically where something went on, which is really the importance of using Google Maps to show them and to better explain the story rather than just relying on a text explanation of that. So that's the main thing. Hopefully this video was informative. I'll go ahead and include all of the links that I used for this story to explain this as a guide for you. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'll provide my contact information to Annie as well if you'd have any follow-up questions. I really recommend you use this maybe for an HFR story to start out. On a day turn story, you're going to have a lot going on, and unless you have a lot of downtime, I really don't recommend doing this for the first time on a day turn story. I mean, I'd be able to do this in about 5 minutes, but first time it might take you 30 minutes, maybe even an hour. But it really does add to your story, and it better explains where everything is. But thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. I'll provide my contact information to Annie. Thanks again, and definitely enjoy your class. Annie's the best. All right, thanks.